Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Daniel Gilbert, and this is Empowered Living Today. We've been doing a series on Holy Week starting on Palm Sunday, and now it's day 3 of Holy Week. And we've been learning how Jesus rode into Jerusalem on Palm Sunday and how the people were praising him and worshiping him and declaring that he's the King of the Jews. And one of the powering thoughts of that day was, is Jesus King and Lord of all of your life? Yesterday we learned about Jesus going back into Jerusalem and cleansing the temple and driving out those that were hindering the worshipers from worshiping God properly. And the empowering thought for today, that day, was what is hindering you in your worship and your prayer time, and how God can cleanse you. Now today, Jesus returns to Jerusalem, and he is teaching, and all the people are amazed at the authority and the way he teaches. Now the Pharisees, the religious leaders, and other religious leaders called the Sadducees and scribes, the religious lawyers, didn't like this at all. And they were concerned that Jesus was going to draw a huge crowd, even bigger than all that they had heard around Israel here in Jerusalem during Passover week. And they were scheming to try to trick him. Let me pause for a second and just mention this. If you're living for Jesus and you're loving the Lord with all your heart and you're serving him, there's going to be people that are going to challenge you and your faith. They're going to try to trip you up. They're going to try to do things to mock you because of your living faith. Well, you're in good company, because that's what they did to Jesus. Now, this is what happened with Jesus. As they challenged his authority, Jesus began to teach parables and really shocked the people and these religious leaders. And then they plotted to trick him so that they could arrest him. And there was one scribe that came to him. I could just see this arrogance coming and trying to trick him. And he said this to Jesus. Jesus, what do you think is the greatest commandment of all? And I can see Jesus just smile, saying, that's a great question. Let me tell you what the greatest commandment is. And Jesus says this. It's from the great prophet Moses in Deuteronomy chapter 6, verses 4 and 5. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. And you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind, and all your strength. And then people were amazed and paused. And then Jesus went on and said, and the second greatest commandment is to love your neighbor as yourself. This amazed that attorney. It amazed everybody. So here's a powering thought for today, the third day of Holy Week. Do you love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, body, and strength? Do you live for him in all areas of your life? And the question that goes to that, what are ways you can show your love for the Lord this week, especially in Holy Week? Maybe it's spending more time in prayer like we talked about yesterday. Maybe it's showing the love of God to others. Now the second empowering thought for today, and this is very important as well, is who is your neighbor? And is someone in your life that you could show the love of God to? How can you love your neighbor? Maybe there's someone in your neighborhood that you know is a widow or a widower and that's lonely. This week, go and show them the love of Christ. Maybe may I be so bold, maybe there's a jerk at your workplace that just is a jerk. Why don't you show the love of God to them this week and make an impact in their life? So I want to thank you for sharing Holy Week with me today. And let me pray for you. Father, thank you so much for this time together. Thank you that you came into this world through your Holy Son, Jesus. And thank you for teaching us that one of the greatest commandment is to love you with our entire being and to love our neighbor as ourselves. Help us love you in a greater way this week and show your love to our neighbors. In the name of Jesus. Thank you so much for watching Empowered Living today. I'm Dr. Daniel Gilbert. I hope you'll tune in tomorrow. God bless you and have a great Holy Week.